Hello, my name is Janice Davies and I call myself the lady with nice in her name, and I'm the attitude specialist and I live in New Zealand. So hi Joe, look, I just want to share with you a couple of things. And first of all, my latest keynote I'm calling Life's Second Chance, which is about dying, surviving and thriving. And one of the things that I've learned to success is how high you bounce back. Now I just want to say I really love your information. I've just bought your hypnotic marketing software, so that's fun and I'm having fun with that, and just put it on my new website. The other thing I've got is I've got your Miracles coaching program. Of course, I've got Gregory as my coach, Gregory Downey, and he's absolutely fantastic. Now, just so that you know, yes, I am reading the script. I am, this is a learning curve for me. However, the only reason I'm reading it is to make sure I get across the information that I can share with you as quickly as possible. Now, you may be wondering why I am contacting you via Gregory, but one of our sessions I talked about, we talked about asking, and I've always asked, and I said, okay, well, so how do I get a JV with Joe Vitale? And he said, well, you send me the information and I will forward it on to him. So here I am, and I must say I'm a little bit overawed to be having the privilege to be able to speaking to somebody that's that famous. And yeah, you know, I mean, it's just lovely, and thank you very much for your time. And one of the things I also realised, that if I've had an idea, if the universe has sent me an idea, it's kind of something that I have to follow up on, albeit that in the past I haven't, because I have been stuck in fear. But before I just go on any further, I want to say that in one of your ebooks that I read, I saw that you said that Richard Webster was one of your friends. And Richard over here in New Zealand is one of my friends, and I've known him for about 15 years as well. And he was the writer who gave me my first overview for my book, Successful Single Parenting, which I've still got to self-publish, and it's sort of about to be done and put out there. So, yeah, no, Richard's a great friend of mine, and he sent me a couple of books about getting Michael the Archangel to protect me and all that sort of thing, so it's fabulous. But first of all, I'd just like to give you a little bit of my background. You may be wondering why I was talking about Life's Second Chance, dying, surviving and thriving. Well, it is true, I did die on the 5th of October 2010. Luckily my partner was around and he did revive me. And so now I'm back to creating the things that I didn't earlier in my life before that happened, where I got stuck in fear and I'm not good enough and not worthy and all that sort of stuff. So it's like I've got a second chance here, so I'm really sort of working through all that stuff that I have to in my head to make this work. And like you, I've had interesting life. I mean, I love reading about what you've done, because it sort of always inspires me, as we know, which is why you share it, to inspire other people to move onwards and upwards. And my fear has always been about self-esteem and lack of low self-esteem, not lack of, and I've had to work my way through that. So just a quick overview, I was born a leader. I've done a lot of personal development, and I realised that when I went and started looking at myself. I was bullied at high school when I was about 15. It's been 18 years, kind of like, you know, well, how should we say it? Happy face, sad soul. I fell into personal development and realised that I learned I had low self-esteem, and so in a negative attitude because of it, because I couldn't find the happiness that I was wanting in my life. I did have to obviously find the courage to do it, and I walked out of a marriage with 2 young children who were 3 and 18 months old. Best decision I ever made. They're gorgeous, and of course my marriage was absolutely a learning curve as well. So during that year, those times, my biggest goal was to have them to be qualified in the career that they loved and to be self-sufficient people of society. And it took 16 years, but they achieved that and both graduated on the same day, so that was really, really awesome. During this time when I was living in that house as well, I got my first message, and it was dot on 3 o'clock in the morning, big loud voice saying, write your life story. Because I didn't know what that meant. The next big message I got was to buy a home and income. Now, I was actually led to buy a home, and I always feel like I'm guided. There's always been a golden carrot that's sort of dangling in front of me, and I kind of have to step up my thinking and my actions to be able to achieve the message. As I say, albeit that I've been sort of stuck for a few times. However, the house that I bought was a haunted house, so I had to learn about the spirit world. Almost lost a daughter to suicide because of the negative stuff in the house, but also learned from the positive stuff as well. In the year 2000, I did receive a message, and I believe it was from God, because it was a huge, loud, booming voice around me while I was out walking. Nobody was in the street, and I thought, well, I really lost it this time. And the message was, and it was to create a self-esteem day. And interesting enough, my thoughts were, who do I think I am to do that? I'm not good enough, da-da-da. And it took 4 years for my thoughts to catch up to the message that I was given, and it was words from Marianne Williamson and Nelson Mandela made famous, and it was, your playing small does not serve the world. So I did have to step up, and in 2004 I actually started that. you know, from then on, I've got another message in 2006 was to be able to share the message of self-esteem. The best was actually via a movie. So I have written a script and we are turning that into a movie as well. However, after my business crashed during the recession and then the dying and being revived bit, I am finally stepping up to be the person that God has in mind that I can be, and changing my fear to faith. And certainly as a reader of Daily Word, which I see somewhere you've suggested in one of your books, it's been a learning curve, and it still is a learning curve, obviously, as I set new goals for myself. But I did soul search. I did write my life story after I did have my business went splat, because I thought, well, I don't know what else to do, and that's when I actually wrote the movie as well. And in all of this, I am teaching people how to believe in self-esteem. However, I've got to bring you back to what I came here to talk to you for. It was about the difficult people program that I put together, which I was interested in seeing if you were interested in it being as a JV. And Gregory did suggest that I contact you and talk about it. And also, you know, I just want to share a couple of things. As I'm stepping up to the mark, one of the things I've just been invited to be and accepted is the president of the International Self-Esteem Council. So there's 140 countries recognised, so it's kind of like my work is taking me to share this stuff about self-esteem globally. And the dealing with difficult people comes from, you know, the bullying at high school, the bullying in my marriage, and when it happened in my workplace, at least I had the skills to be able to cope with it. So there are so many bullies out in the world, and dealing with difficult people has all the techniques to be able to show people how to deal with them. This was my most popular workshop when I was running them as public workshops. I've sort of stopped doing that now. And what I've put together now is 6 one-hour webinars, and we've got bonus products and things like that. We've just repriced it at $57, and obviously we would be happy to really work with you to reprice it. It's interesting as I go through this learning curve of putting the business online, what's working, what's not working, and it is a huge learning curve for sort of a latecomer to this. You've been doing it for 20 years, so picking up all the snippets of information I can. And of course Greg is just helping me pull it together. But we did do a search. There's 90,500 searches globally for this per month, and 49,500 per month in the USA. So I think there's plenty of people to be interested. We've just sort of redone our website to make this to work. And interesting enough, it's very interesting because most of our people that come for our difficult people quotes are from Texas, and I thought, oh, that's interesting, what's happening in Texas out of all the states in the USA. However, I just wanted sort of to share this with you. I'm happy to answer any questions. Gregory is helping me to get rid of my money beliefs that have been limiting me in the past. And once again, thanks again for your wonderful work, because it is really, really inspiring for us and obviously the many people that watch it as well. Just one thing I did want to share. When I did see The Secret, I had an image, and I do get kind of visions and images every now and then. It was a red car with humps, because I've read your stuff about attracting a car. Now, I haven't actually worked out which car it is. It's either an old-fashioned MG or a Morgan. Those are the closest that I can get to the red humps that I saw in my vision. So I'm really, really looking forward to that coming to my life. And I just want to say thanks for sharing with, you know, listening to me. A little bit nervous, of course. And if you would really like a copy of my book, The Success Attitude, Haunting Messages Guiding It, very, very happy to send one to you. And in case you want to be in another movie, we've just written a script. We've got a long way to go with it yet, but I'd love to have something in there, you know, and it's about, what I'm teaching in there is about motivating people. So it would be fabulous if you wanted to be in there, that we could do something with you to be motivating people about self-esteem and your views as well. And in that, it would be that you would be, I would be reading something or listening to something of you that would teach me how to self-esteem, which we share out to the world. But I'm gambling, but I just really wanted to say that this video, with all my gobbledygots, is about checking to see whether you are interested in doing a JV with me on dealing with difficult people. The main messages behind it is that bullying is not okay, and that the individual who is being bullied has to step up the mark and find the courage to be able to empower themselves. In that, I talk about self-esteem, I talk about personalities, I talk about relationships, transactional analysis, and I realise that it's a journey for everybody to be able to learn this, but the people who are unempowered really are looking for answers, and it's how we can get this out there. And I know what it's like to be bullied. It's disgusting, it's bad. My girls had death warrants, text to them with the bullying. The other one, I changed school with her because of bullying, you know, the girls in their high school years. And I'm just going to start going into the schools and talking to schools about it as well. So I'd love to hear from you. Thank you very, very much for your time. I feel very privileged. And thank you, Gregory, for forwarding this on to me. So have a wonderful day. Love to hear from you. Thank you.